Ladies and gentlemen, a massive welcome to the One Championship, number one women's strawweight in the world, Tiffany Teo. Tiffany, we missed you. You've been gone a year and you come back with a performance like that, rear naked choke in the second round against Meng Bo. You must be feeling fantastic. What's the initial reaction after putting in an epic performance like that?
Yeah, it feels really great to be back in one championship, and yeah, that's kind of like what I expected. Throughout the whole camp at Matrix MMA, that's all we've been working on, just getting the takedown, working on ground controls, damage on the ground, and going for the sub. Yeah.
What in particular have you guys been working on that gave you that much confidence? You've always been an exceptional grappler, but you seem to know this was coming.
I guess having a good team. So I've been working with Major since my first fight, and he has always a good eye for game planning, and he just caught on some of the stuff that she has been doing for her past few fights. So we just try to like capitalize on her weaknesses and use it to our advantages. Yeah.
You've already had some special memories at Singapore Indoor Stadium, but what was it like fighting in front of the home crowd? It was a small crowd, but it was a loud crowd, and they seemed to love it.
Yeah, it was a really great feeling. Like I could hear everyone cheering for me, and it felt really good. When I got the takedown, everyone was cheering for me. When I got the finish, and yeah, the energy was really great. Yeah.
You seemed to say something to yourself just before the post-fight interview. What were you saying? What was going through your mind?
Kind of just positive affirmations. Like uh I was just telling myself like, I got this, I'm fearless, I'm powerful, I got this. Yeah. So just right before the fight, I was just having all these positive thoughts in my mind. Yeah.
How big is the confidence right now? Because, self-doubt is something that affects everybody. And when
Mhm.
you're competing in a sport like this with such high stakes, there must be an element of doubt. And then you go and put in a performance like that, you must be
Mhm.
feeling absolutely buzzing. Do you feel like you could take on anyone right now? That was pretty much your post-fight message.
Yes, so yeah, post fight, I just pretty much call out, the whole female division, right? From atom, straw to flyweight. And that's what I plan to do. And I feel like, the past 1.5 years, I haven't been, fighting as much as I would like to due to some conditions that I had, and I'm glad it's all sorted out now. So I would love to stay really active this year, next year. I would like to fight as much as I can. Yeah.
There's a lot of buzz and a lot of build up for Angela Lee versus Stamp. Xiong
Mhm.
Nan has been talking about the trilogy. She gets asked about the trilogy a lot, but with a performance like that, do you want to put your name in there to fight the winner of that?
Yeah, I'm down to fight anyone, man. I just want to fight right now. Yeah, the champ, not the champ, like atom weight, any weight, I'm down. Yeah.
What about that trilogy with Chung Jin Nan? I'm sure you were already asked about it by Mitch. Is that
Mhm.
something that you would be down for? Or do you prefer to go to atom weight and the trilogy will be there?
Yeah, whatever comes first, right? Like I'm down for the third rematch, or even at the atom weight. I'm down for any atom weight goes. Yeah, I just want to stay active. Yeah.
How did you feel about this matchup with Meng Bo? She had this reputation as a massively hard hitter. How did you feel about her power being in there with her?
Yeah, she has really great punches, and she has pretty good accuracy of her punches. I was pretty impressed with that. But no, it's not the first time where I've been in deep waters, and I was ready for that. And my team prepared me for this, and it wasn't something that I wasn't expecting at all. Yeah.
Where does she rank, do you reckon, among the hard hitters that you faced in the past? Where do you put Meng Bo?
Honestly, from my experience, I would say she's one of the hardest hitters that I've faced. Yeah.
Do you think that your grappling is underrated in some regards? I think it might have been Miura during midweek who said she saw you as a grappler,
Mhm.
as a striker. Do you
Yeah.
think that your grappling gets the credit it deserves?
Not really, right? I feel like I don't get the credit that I quite deserve in general, not just grappling or striking. It's like every time I go online, the apology I see like the fight predictions. I'm always the underdog, no matter if I fight a striker or a grappler. So I don't know. Here's a shout out to everyone. Put some respect on my name.
Do you think that's going to happen now after kind of reminding the world just how good you are tonight?
Yeah, I hope it does. I mean, I would think that I've done enough to show that I can strike and grapple. I'm a well-rounded MMA fighter.
Did you quite enjoy the exchanges with Meng Bo during media day? She was saying she wasn't too impressed with your previous performances, but
Mhm,
she also seemed a little bit affected by the Ritu Pogat
mhm.
outcome, and maybe the grappling was a weakness. Is that something that you pinpointed?
Yeah, definitely. Like from that fight, I could see a lot of holes in her games, and I know she's. I also realized something about her. She loves to talk, right? Like even when she was fighting Ritu, she talked a lot. Like, and I feel like she didn't really live up to the expectations. Yeah.
Did you know that grappling was going to be a big advantage for you? Was that something that your
Yeah,
major
coming
went
to
over?
yeah, coming into this fight, I knew that grappling would be a huge advantage for me, and I wanted to take advantage of that. Yeah.
Is that something that you might do in the future? It's something that the fans love when a fighter is able to pinpoint how they're going to win a fight. It worked out really nicely for you now.
Mhm.
So are you going to come with that kind of confident predictions in the future?
Yeah, I hope so. Definitely hope that I could, just call my fights in the future. Yeah.
Since you had time out, while you were
Mhm.
out, we had this Atomweight Grand Prix. You've called out the
Mhm.
whole division, but were you watching that Grand Prix and who stood out to you?
Ritu stood out a lot to me. I was really impressed with her improvements in general over her past few fights. And yeah, she has a big heart too. Like she showed grit against Meng Bo. She got rocked a couple of times in the first round, and she came back strong and won a dominant decision.
I actually heard some discussions among some fight analysts that Ritu and you might be a really interesting matchup. She's ranked at 4 now. She was the finalist, and with you wanting to come down to atomweight, do you
Mhm.
like that matchup with
Yeah,
her?
I love to. Yeah, I think that'll be a great matchup too.
How do you fancy your grappling against her? She's one of the best wrestlers in the division.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much on par. Yeah.
So if you could handpick your next opponent, I know you call that everybody, but you know what we're like. We got to get a name. So who would it be? Is Ritu kind of the one that makes sense?
Yeah, I think we two make sense for now at Atomate. We both just got our win against the same girl, Meng Bo. So I think that would be a matchup that makes sense next. Yeah.
She also trains in Singapore, right? She trains at Evolve. So there's a
Yeah.
little bit that Singapore rivalry as well.
Yeah. That should be fun.
So what's the plan for you now? Because ordinarily you'd go and get a well-deserved celebration, but you seem
Mhm.
hungry and raring to go. Is the plan to kind of get back in the gym quickly and get back in the circle quickly?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not really injured from the fight, just some bruises here and there. So I'll be back training next week, and yeah, I'm ready to fight. Like, just give me a couple of 1 or 2 months notice. I'm ready to go again. Yeah.
Are you quite comfortable in terms of dropping down to atom weight physically because you're in unbelievable shape? But that is a significant change for you, right?
Yeah, that would be I would have to watch my diet a little bit more. But this cut has really been I didn't really diet much, and I felt really comfortable throughout the whole camp. So I believe that it will be a little bit challenging, but I do believe that I can make the atom weight.
Is your plan to just because you called out 3 divisions? Is your plan
Mhm.
to fight atom weight, go back to strawweight, or if you like it at atom weight and things go well for you, could that be the new home?
Yeah, that might be the move. So the thing with strawweight now is kind of like it's kind of weird. Like there is quite a small division, and I fought almost all the girls in the division. So just not quite sure what's going to happen next in strawweight. So I'm open to just drop down to atomweight and see how it plays out. If I feel comfortable at atomweight, I would like to keep fighting at atomweight and eventually fight for the title. And if there's more girls coming up at strawweight, I would love to keep fighting at strawweight too. Yeah. Just want to keep my options open as of now.
Well, a fascinating fight, of course, is another fighter who competes in both divisions. Angela Lee. For years now, people have been talking about you and Angela, and you've got that Singapore rivalry as well. How big of a fight would that be? And is that one that you'll look to pursue?
Yeah, that's been a fight that's on my mind since day one. Yeah, so I'm definitely down for that. Yeah.
Does it feel like now's the time, or 2022 is the year that fight has to happen?
Yeah, I think so. Like eventually it has to happen, right? Like Singapore versus Singapore. Yeah.
Ring rust is an interesting concept, but you seem to show absolutely none of it after a year out. Angela Lee hasn't fought for a long time. Do you think she'll struggle at all, having been out for a while?
Mm, well, it depends if you're still like training consistently. Because for me, even though I haven't been fighting as much as I would like to, I've been, day in day out, I've been training 2 times a day, 3 times a day. So it's not like a big change in my lifestyle or my habits. Yeah. So not much of a difference for me. Yeah.
Were you surprised by Stamp winning by submission in the final? I don't think many people saw that coming. Did that
Oh yeah, I
surprise you?
was I was really surprised by that. Yeah, and I was really impressed with her performance too.
I think she's only been training jiu-jitsu for 3 years, which is incredible. Do you think she has what it takes overall to beat Angela?
Yeah, she has good striking and she has good distance management, and yeah, I guess it's just how good her grappling defenses are. So I do see her. I do see a possibility of her winning the fight.
And I feel like you're already just got one of the biggest wins of your career and already asking your thoughts on Miura versus Xiong. But it must be so interesting for you having fought both women. You've picked Xiong. I mean, can anybody stop her at strawweight?
Well, I believe third time is a charm. I plan to stop her for the third time. Yeah, on the third try. Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be the stars aligning and it's going to be the perfect time for you to meet? It seems like you want to have that fight, but you want to do something else first. Do you see that maybe later in 2022, you guys doing the trilogy?
Yeah, I think that would be a good timeline for that, for the third match to happen. Yeah.
But she's already talking about going down to atomweight as well. And the trilogy with Angela, I feel like there are so many stories to pan out. From a personal point of view, what's the most important thing about 2022? Like, when we have this conversation this time next year, what has to happen, in your opinion, for your career?
This time next year. Yeah, well, I hope I will have a couple of more fights. So that's really my main goal for 2022. I hope to stay like really active, hopefully fight, 3 or 4 more times this year if it's possible. So that's really kind of like my resolution for 2022, just to stay as active as I can, get as many wins as I can. Yeah.
It's interesting that you said you feel a little bit underappreciated and underrated. Do you feel that you have to now take it upon yourself to be a bit louder, to call out those names, call out those other women? Do you think that's the way forward to get those big fights and get those big checks?
Yeah, it seems like it, right? I feel like, earlier on in my career, I've been kind of like too chill, even though my nickname is No Chill. Like, I've just been like cruising and just, waiting for the next fight. So I feel like I have to kind of do something, even I have to call people, I have to do it to make it happen and to fight more often and to make people know that, I'm still here. Yeah.
Meng Bo was absolutely tearing it up before she lost to Ritu. Is this one of the biggest wins of your career? I mean, you beat Niccolini, beat Miura. Where does this rank for you in the sweetest victories?
I would say probably the second. So the first I would rank would be Michelle. I mean, she's a Jiu-Jitsu world champ, and I'm the first one in one championship to beat her too. So that's rank number 1 for me. And the second one I would say Meng Bo. Yeah, because she's a really good striker, and I managed to win the fight with a submission victory. Yeah.
Do you think she made a mistake coming up to strawweight to take on the number 1 contender?
Oh no, I've looked at her previous fights. She has been fighting kind of like both weight cats throughout her career. She fought at flyweight a couple of times too. Yeah, so I guess she just wasn't ready with what I was about to bring to the table. Yeah.
This isn't just about you. You're making history with every fight that you have. So what does tonight mean for Singaporean MMA and for women's MMA?
What does it mean for Singapore MMA? Well, I guess I'm kind of like the only representative for women's MMA in Singapore. Honestly, besides that myself, local born and bred Singapore fighters, I feel like I'm the only female MMA fighter in Singapore. Yeah, so I feel like I'm kind of leading the way, like the first gen of women's MMA in Singapore. Yeah.
Well, you put on an absolute show tonight, Tiffany. Maximum respect. Amazing stuff.
All right. Yeah, I have one last shout out. So, yo, Chatri, I'm ready for my 50 Gs. Let's go.